welcome back to the Plunder Den. So today's episode is a little different. I wanted to show you guys kind of how I come up with ideas for things. This is kind of a exploratory episode. And kind of I need you guys' help in what direction or what you guys would like to watch me do. So I've got a few projects on the table here that I'm working on, or that are even just in the concept phase right now, not even on the table yet. But I just gotta figure I'd go over a few of them with you. Also want to spend some time going through this Blood and Valor British starter box, which is I just got in the mail not too long ago. And I'm really excited to build my Canadian force for Blood and Valor, and this box set's going to help me well with that. So I was just going to briefly go through that on the table, just something added on to this episode. But the other projects I'm contemplating doing here is one of the projects I want to work on is, so my son's Galleon, I want to redo I originally built him his sails and masts and everything for his Spanish Galleon. But let's just say I didn't know what I was doing, and I made kind of a muck of it. And so I bought, Firelock Games is recently, you're now able to get the Galleon kit on its own, which is fantastic. So I'm going to, because there's nothing wrong with the resin part of it, and my son painted it and did a fantastic job. But I want to redo the top. So I'm going to tear that apart, and we're going to outfit that Spanish Galleon with some really fancy sails. So that's one of the things that I want to work on. The other thing is, with Raise the Black coming, I really wanted to have some more 18th century terrain. So, I have my port, and I was building my jungle train, which I'm still working on, by the way. There's still a few more components to the jungle train that needs to be completed. But I'm not quite done that yet. But I wanted to build a plantation. So a sugarcane plantation for my 18th century for Raise the Black. And kind of I want to make kind of my own scenario where you have to go in and free some of the slaves that are running that sugarcane plantation, and you have to defeat the rich landowner. It might be an interesting kind of scenario where the pirates come in and build their numbers by releasing some of the slaves that are in there. So in the plantation, I spent a lot of time on the internet looking at different 18th, 17th century plantations, and sugarcane is one of the most popular ones that I've found. And one of the ways that they processed the sugarcane was with a windmill. So this gave me a good opportunity to build a windmill. And I figured maybe I could probably, use it in my Blood and Valor, maybe as something in the Netherlands or something in the Caribbean for Blood and Plunder. So really, when I make my terrain, I'm kind of contemplating how I could use it for both games. So my idea was I was looking for what would be the right shape to make this windmill. So I decided to go over to my friends at Popeyes. Well, that was really hard. But I think these large cups might make a great base for this windmill. I'm going to change this Popeyes cup into a sugarcane windmill for my Blood and Plunder Raise the Black plantation. I also do plan on building a mansion where the plantation owner lives. So there's a whole bunch of things along that, a bunch of slave quarters, and just really a whole map dedicated to this plantation. So that's another project I got in mind. The other one is to obviously finish so this is kind of a part of the arena. So we built the jungle terrain for like the temple, but I always mentioned that it was part of a greater piece. And completing that arena was also on the table of things to do. So I got a few things on there. I also was looking at potentially building a destroyed building or a series of buildings for Blood and Valor 2. In that, I was also looking at doing a stone bridge. And also we're making a whole map dedicated to Blood and Valor, so kind of a European city. My son came up with a great idea. So I've seen ones where they have crash planes as an objective to get to, or a tank. That's some of the scenarios that are in the Blood and Valor instruction manual. But I was contemplating, well, actually, it was my son that came up with the idea, was to do a crashed Zeppelin, World War I Zeppelin, which I thought would be a fantastic, cool idea, and would be a really cool piece of terrain to build. So I got that going around, rattling around in there. So doing a whole dedicated Blood and Valor. We'll have like a bridge and some smashed up buildings and a destroyed Zeppelin. And have a whole kind of scenario around capturing the intel that the Zeppelin this German Zeppelin has gotten of the Allied positions, and the Allies are trying to recover that intel from the burning Zeppelin. So that's kind of the ideas I got going on. So if you guys let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to watch me build. We could do a couple of them. I might build one of these on my own. But let me know which ones you'd be really interested in seeing. Also, just I always want to make a note. If you like what we're doing here on the Plunder Den, make sure you hit the like button. And consider subscribing to the Plunder Den and get first hand information when I have new products or new projects going on the table, and you guys can watch them. So let's go down to the table. I just want to show you some of the processes behind how I come up with some of my ideas. And really it starts with the internet and a lot of photos on my iPad. And also I want to get to that Blood and Valor starter box and take a look at what's in the British starter box, which I plan on turning into my Canadian starter box. All right, let's get down to the table and see what's going on. Okay, I figure I'd start with the Blood and Valor starter box. So this is the British starter box set. And looks like you get some riflemen, 2 units of riflemen in it. Command team, Vickers MG team, so like a machine gun unit. And the Highlanders. So just kind of showing you the different types of units that are actually in the box. I'm pretty excited about those Highlanders. Remember, I'm turning this into a Canadian force. And definitely the Canadians had a lot of Highlanders that went over from all different provinces of Canada, really. So let's take a look inside and see what it looks like inside the box. All right, so it looks like you get a nationality card here, the British nationality card. Lets you know the different kind of units and some of the information on. This is the commanders on the back here, and their stats in the game. So cool little card here. And these are the bases. There's a large base for the machine gun unit. That might be actually to be an interesting video to do on its own too, is to build that. I finished my French one. It was a lot of fun. So looks like we got some Highlanders in that bag. And we got machine gun unit here. Let's pull this out and take a look at it. That's, of course, if I can get this baggie open. All right, here we go. I just wanted to show you just a close-up of some of the miniatures. They're pretty cool. This is made by Felix Custodium. They are a partner with Firelock Games in making the starter sets for Blood and Valor. There's some assembly required in the miniatures, but not too bad. Just glue some arms on and glue your machine gun nest together. But other than that, there is some figurines that are actually fully assembled already in there. But just a little super glue, and you can put them together and put them on those bases. I wouldn't mind doing also another episode on how to I make my bases. So I mentioned in one of my terrain videos that I like to use drywall compound. It gives you a real good muddy feel on the bottom. There's a little machine gun unit here. He's fully assembled, ready to rock and roll. Just have to glue him to his base. It'll be kind of cool to show you how I do the basing of the. It's a lot different than Blood and Plunder. There's a lot more stuff to do on the base, and then the one in Blood and Plunder, they're pretty well assembled. You could stay with the wooden planks or go with something else. So a little hard to see them through the baggies, but I'm just kind of picking up all the and show you all the different types that they had. All right, let's move on to showing you some of the processes for how I get started on making projects. So really, I kind of come up with a concept in my head, and I scour the internet for photos. So for all the projects I mentioned in the intro, I just looked up Zeppelin and World War I Zeppelin, and it gave me a whole bunch of different images of it. Burned out bridges from World War I, again, just gave me a bunch of images. And then I just kind of copy them, put them into a collage of different things. And I just use them as inspiration for what I want the final product to look like. It may not look exactly like what I'm looking at, but it's just kind of an idea. So I got a burning Zeppelin there. I remember I was talking about the burning Zeppelin scenario in Blood and Valor. So I kind of looked at different images of that. There's artwork, all sorts of stuff. There's some destroyed buildings from World War I. I got some good ideas on there of what we could do for our buildings. And then some different bridges. It'd be really neat to have like a stone wall and a stone bridge, and kind of have some burnt out buildings on the other side. Would be kind of neat. And these are I did some research on some Canadian uniforms, looking at images of that, just to give me ideas for my Canadian box I want to make. So there's some Highlanders. It's going to be a lot of fun to paint those guys. Fortunately, there's only 4 in the box. It's too bad. Maybe I can change some of the other ones into look like that. And then there's just some more references for my French box set, too. I have the French starter set as well, which I'm already engaged in painting. The British I just got. So anyways, that's the Blood and Valor ideas I got going on. Let's take a look at the Plantation. So this is just kind of, these are all 17th, 18th century, buildings. This is somebody's mansion, a plantation, all in the Caribbean. You can see that there's different areas. They also made like tobacco and other stuff out there that was really popular, but sugarcane seems like something that I want to make. So there's kind of an image that I'm looking at, something similar to that. There's another mansion. So yeah, I just kind of pulled up all the different mansions and images they had of a plantation in that time frame. There are some slave quarters, different ideas for that. More close-up images. So I really think I could turn that Popeye's cup into one of these plantation windmills. So I'm also going to make some fields. I just looked at that image there. I need to make some sugarcane fields too, of course, to add to this. So this will be a very interesting project, and I think it'll be a lot of fun to make. So that's kind of the image right there I'm kind of looking for. Something like that as a mill. All right, so that's the one I'm planning on doing for Raise the Black. Let's move on to the Spanish Galleon that I want to... so I'm just going to show you some different images of Spanish sails. The Spanish had very elaborate sail designs. The Dutch had some really interesting colors on the boats, but the Spanish had lots of interesting sail designs. So these are some that I'm looking at doing something similar to this on the Spanish Galleon. I think they would be really, really cool to have my sails look like similar to this model that I found images of. All right, if you like what you see here, make sure you hit the like button and consider subscribing to the Plunder Den. And make sure you leave some comments down below and let me know which direction you guys want me to go in and what project you would like me to work on. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.